Welcome to the Franchise Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Giuseppe Grammatico, your franchise guy, the show where we help corporate executives experience time and financial freedom. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to mix it up. End of year, wanted to do some planning, some review, and offer any assistance and guidance. Hopefully, everyone finds this helpful in planning for the new year. I do this every year, and it's really kind of a review. I like to review the year, see how things went. Did we hit goals? Did we not? The reasons why. Not to beat yourself up, but just to kind of analyze and see what tweaks need to be made throughout the year. So hopefully you find the information helpful. One starting point is really a kind of year in review, listing out, as I showed in previous episodes, what your goals were for the year. I'm going to share my screen here in a second, but breaking it up into the various categories. And I understand if you're listening in, you can go to the blog. The blog lists the audio as well as the YouTube link. Just go to ggthefranchiseguy.com/podcast and click on this annual review. You can go directly to YouTube, look me up there. We'll have the video version so that you can take a look and look at the spreadsheet that we're creating here. It's a very basic spreadsheet that I put together on Google Sheets. So let's see. All right. So we got it. We got it up here on the screen. So this is my spreadsheet. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. Perfect. Awesome. So this is just a sample spreadsheet that you can use. You can create as much as you like, add as much as you like, add different fields and tabs and things like that. But ultimately, this is what works for me. You'll see in the upper left-hand corner map. It's a massive action plan. I stole that from Tony Robbins from decades and decades ago. This is something I use as a visualizer. I really open up this document. It's one of the first things I look at in the morning, and it helps me to review goals and daily habits. I kept it blank here. This is more for as an example, as everyone's going to have different goals and things like that. And for business, if you don't have a business, what you're going to do in order to find that business. And that would be the bottom here. But one key takeaway, and I started talking about this from the book I read, Atomic Habits, and you've probably seen podcasts and information around the book, is that goals are great. I want to lose, we'll do health. We'll call it 10 pounds. Just write 10 pounds. But to lose 10 pounds, what are the daily habits that are going to get you there? And it may be 10K steps a day, and then 15 minutes of weights or gym. You're going to cater to this based off of what is the right fit for you. You may be in maintenance mode. So this 10-pound weight loss may be just to maintain weight, and it may be to gain energy. I put this together, and if you like, you can add a 20, 25 goals to see where you're at. But these goals are great, but 10 pounds, okay, let's break that down. We'll just throw a number out. You have to burn an extra 200 calories a day, and that equates to at least 10,000 steps plus 15 minutes weight or gym. And you can play with this. You can use ChatGPT to analyze all that and put together a plan. But the point in all this is that it's holding you accountable. You're reviewing it daily. And then you're actually looking at the daily habit, the things you have to do on a daily basis to get you to this, so that this isn't going to happen in January of 2026. It's going to be little by little, and this could be adjusted. You can maybe bump this up to 20-pound weight loss, or you could leave it the same and do 20K steps. You can alter those without changing too much, right? We want to be consistent. We want to make sure we're still on plan. I find this helpful because it's a constant reminder. It takes all of 10 seconds to review this on a daily basis to make it a priority. If you want to take it to the next step, is scheduling these daily habits right on the calendar. So grabbing your Google Calendar and putting on there from 8 to 9 a.m. or 7 to 8 a.m., whatever the time is, or you want to break it up a half hour in the morning, half hour after lunch. You're going to do 5,000 steps in the morning, 5,000 at lunch, and then 15 minutes of weights or gym. Maybe you just do that in the morning. By putting in time blocking, it's holding you accountable. So you're actually saying, I'm going to take care of this. It's scheduled. I don't miss meetings. I'm not going to miss a workout. You're going to treat it the same way. You're also going to make sure to put down that you're busy. So it shows that you're out of the office. So if someone is trying to book a call in that time frame, they will not be able to, because you have that scheduled time. I usually do this early in the morning so that it is not in the way of calls, but depending on what your schedule is, you may have kids. You got drop off, pick up, whatever the case may be. Work with the time you have. I think the game changer for me is adding it right to the calendar. That way it's a constant reminder of what I need to do. Same goes for all the other aspects. You look at what you did in 2025, what was off. So going back to even health, was it to lose 50 pounds? Was that just too aggressive? And you lost 30. Well, that's a major accomplishment. You have 20 more, and that'll be your new goal for 2026. You want to make sure that you're not too aggressive. You want that quality of life to be there. You don't want to be working out 5 hours a day. You want it to be something manageable that you're going to enjoy. And the key is sustainability. You want it to be sustainable, something that you could do every day, whether it's 5 minutes or 50 minutes that you enjoy doing. And if it's not maybe weights, maybe it's going to the park, going to the beach, wherever you live, and taking advantage of your environment. Finances, I like to do monthly. I have a spreadsheet. You can add in there all your investments, 401k, checking account. That way, everything is electronic. You have direct access. You can send that to your accountant or financial advisor. Goals of income and also the investments, right? Income is great, but we need to save that income, especially if retirement's around the corner. So you want to track that. And I would say monthly at bare minimum. Sometimes balances I'll update weekly. It's a great way to stay on top of things. It's also a great way if there's a mistake on a credit card. I remember last year, someone actually, we don't know what happened, but there was a false charge on there. So if there's any mistakes, they're taken care of. And it's great for budgeting. Why are we spending so much? Do we need to cut back? Do I have double subscriptions? Whatever the case may be. Family, I like to put directly on the calendar. So whether that be on Saturday, Sunday, doing some type of event, and then having habits in there, such as dinner together, 6 o'clock, 5 days a week, 2 days, 3 days. For us, it's a little difficult with the different programs and sports and events and activities. So we try our best, but to do something together as a family on Saturdays. That's what works for our family, and it may be different for yours depending on obviously the kid's age and things like that. House is just something I put in there, things to do around the house. I try to outsource as much as possible so that I can focus on the important stuff, as well as business. We outsource marketing, our podcast production, and things like that. But what are the daily things? I have kind of a step-by-step. So Monday is content creation. Tuesday is designated for calls. Wednesday, the podcast. Thursday is creating additional shorts and anything missed throughout the week. And then Friday, I do a full review of the week, things that need to get done. I do what I call a brain dump every Friday. And that brain dump is everything that I need to get done. And I add it as a link. So you can add a task or add it as a time block directly on the calendar on Saturday when I'm not working. It may be to check on the website. We're working on our website. You're going to time block that for maybe an hour uninterrupted, get that all taken care of. But the biggest thing, again, is number one, holding yourself accountable by looking at the 2025 goals, writing your 2026 goals, the daily habits, putting those daily habits directly into your Google Calendar, whatever calendar you use. That way it's front and center. You're treating it just like any other event. Fridays are a good day to do a weekly brain dump of everything on your mind, things that are not working, things that need to get fixed, addressed, followed up, whatever it is. Write it all down and just go down that list maybe for the first hour on Friday. That's super important. Reviewing things, automating as much as you can. There are some great websites out there that utilizes profit first. And what happens there is that for every dollar that comes in, you may allot from the business. Maybe it's 20% for taxes on the revenue, 20% or more for salary, 50% for operational expenses. And the list goes on. And you can automate those into buckets, into different accounts, so that once that first $1,000 hit, the 200 goes to taxes, the 300 or so goes to salary, and all the other categories goes into those buckets. That way, at the end of the month, you're not short. You have enough for taxes. You have enough for payroll and salary, depending on your business. And it really automates things for you. It's less thinking, and it helps you budget. So if you're not bringing in revenue, maybe certain areas need to be cut back on, because you're staying true to those percentages that you've put together and automated. And again, you want to try to stick with them.
But focusing on finances and daily habits isn't enough. You need to bring in your team. Next, we'll reveal the key professionals you must involve for smart franchise investment.